Finally got it right. You guys, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I go to bed at 7 o'clock. Yes, all the party days are over. And I get up at 3 in the morning. That's when I do writing. About 3 and 4, 5, maybe 8 o'clock I can go grocery shopping, and then my day starts. But my writing is first thing I put in my life. But guess what? I saw some fantastic work tonight, and the name of it was You Belong to Me, and it involves sex, race, and murder. Takes place in the South, and I believe, oh God, the name of the place is, anyway, Ku Klux Klan was really heavy in that time. And there was this woman, her name is Ruby McCullum. And they also had stories written by Zora Neale Hurston. She did a lot of the articles during the murder trial. But just let me give you a brief, a little something on it. Ruby McCullum, and then Adams, Dr. Adams, his name is Dr. Adams. He's a white guy. She's a black woman, and she's married to Sam McCullum. And it's really odd because the writing is really odd because it doesn't talk about the husband, her husband, or Dr. Adams' wife. But in all, let me just go straight to the point. In the movie, it shows that Ruby was, he was having sex with her. He would come to the house and have sex with her. And it's the same as the plantation, maybe. But in this case, in my opinion, I think she had an affair with this doctor. But what she did was in 1952, which is just really unheard of, she shot him dead. One day. She left her kids in the car, went inside, had a conversation inside of his doctor's office, had a conversation with him, and then she took out the gun and shot him a number of times, like 4 times. And you have the murder trial and all this kind of stuff. But the main thing that I want to bring up is, and the reason why, because I've written short stories on ethics. I don't know, it must be very important to me because when I was having a hard time, like in Chicago, a number of things happened to me from people that I trusted, in which I shouldn't have been in that position, but I guess I didn't know that I was bipolar at that time. So I had started to not have a place, just different things were happening. And the people that were helping me turned against me in one way or another. So I wrote about it and made some money. And one of them was the black sweater. And I'll tell you about that one day. But getting back to Ruby McCullum, you can just Google her name and look at, and there's a book out that was written by the reporter Huey, that Zora Neale Hurston, when they stopped her from writing about it, she called this guy named Huey, and he's one of the best reporters. And I have to admit, he did get some progress when it came to her trial. But my idea is that no woman is going to be raped for 2 or 3 years. Well, maybe it was 2 or 3 years. And the last baby that she had was his, and she was pregnant again at the time that she committed the murder. And I guess they gave her some shots in jail, and so that she would not have that other baby. This was a good movie. This is the best movie I have seen in a long time. But my opinion, the first thing that you think Did she have an affair with him? Because let me add this detail. She never told what happened. Never. She never said why she did it. And she was having some mental issues. And eventually, up the road, she was found not guilty because of reason of insanity. But she had to spend like 12 or 13 years in asylum before they got that. This woman, went through a lot, but she outlived her husband. Her husband had a heart attack when he heard about it. Now, I'm going to tell you about a brother. Or a black man. I'm not going to call them brothers. A black man. They will set you up. If that white man said, your wife is, what do you want? Because he did numbers. He was practically a gambler. But he was big time. Him and Ruby were well-to-do blacks in that time. And he would say, well, yeah, you can have her. Because why would a man sleep with your wife all that time, over a year, and you not know nothing about it? And then back in those days, they were lynching and all that kind of stuff a whole lot. So maybe he kind of stood back and let it happen like most of them did back in the plantation. We women just never had that queen. A man should never, ever let another man put his hands on this woman. But anyway, she had this going on, and he would constantly come to her house and have sex with her. Now, I'm going to tell you, and maybe it's because of how I am, because I'll jack you big time. You're not going to keep coming back and taking sex from me and I not do nothing to you. I'm just saying. But she did. And she's not saying why she went in there and shot him or anything. But the baby was out in the car. The little girl. She had a little girl by the doctor. And this came up in the trial. So it goes to say, was Ruby raped or was Ruby in love with the doctor? I had a guy asking me over and over for 6 years to have sex with him, and I've just found him repulsive. I'm not going to do that to myself ever again in my life. I don't care. The good days are just about over, but I look good. And if anybody wants sex from me, he's going to respect me. You don't get nothing here, baby. Not a free ride. And I have given a couple of free rides. No free rides here. Not anymore. And you got to be somebody I want. But she kept having sex with him over and over and over and over and over. And then she ends up shooting him. So that option could have been there over that whole year. Why didn't she shoot him the second time or the third time or the fourth time? Which tells me that she was in love with this doctor. She was having sex with him because she wanted to. She never told why. Till this day, she passed away in 1992. She was born in 1909 and passed away in 1992. Isn't it amazing? It's a good book. It's written by Huey. I think it's Huie. He was a reporter. Zora Neale Hurston wrote articles, which were normal articles. She was so respected by everybody, but I'm kind of trying to find out, why. So the articles were normal. But I just would suggest everybody to look at this movie. You will be well entertained. It's very educational as well, of the times It brings back within the story. That's good writing. Within the story, you can see history. Women having to sleep with white men and being scared to speak up. And kind of drove her insane or what? I don't know. And personally, I think that she began to like that doctor. And she was allowing him to come in and sleep with her. Plus, he was giving her some type of drugs. So maybe it was like, I love my dope dealer. Someone that's giving me drugs, and I fell in love with him. I have to have this man. You know what I mean? But it definitely wasn't rape, because she would have shot him a long time ago. You know? It's just like Kizzy on Roots. I question whether Kizzy really liked that man that was Chicken George's father, because in one part of the movie, she says, he's your father. I would never tell if I was being raped and raped over and over, and he kept Miss Kizzy till she was gone. So they he really liked Miss Kizzy. And, you know, all of these instances, is it really rape? Or was it that the man being white and a doctor? This is regarding Ruby McCullum. And she was a nurse. She was educated. She was a nurse, and her husband ran numbers, which was a big thing. A really big thing. A lot of the police made a lot of money off of Sam, which was her husband. And so they kept clear. But he did die mysteriously on the same day she shot. When he was going to run away with the kids. Yeah, why stop somewhere? Just keep going. And they took all his money too. That was just dumb. So, but it's a good movie, and I hope that I explained it. Okay? My condition is my mouth. I have to have therapy in order to speak like I used to. But I'm still kicking it. I'm still talking. So, Ruby McCullum, look her up and see if this movie comes on in your area. It's You Belong to Me. Sex, Race, and Murder. Excellent. And as a writer, this is one of the first ones that I really, really have liked in a long time. So, check it out. And I'm sorry, a lot of people, I don't answer your calls and stuff because I know you're going to talk to me about Obama and what I said about him. And if you keep looking, see, everything that I said about him was right and was true a long time ago. And I hope it wake black people up to how they judge. What are they looking at in a person? You know, because a lot of the organizations I don't even have respect for. Dr. Umar Johnson says some nice things, but he's a young man. And he's really black. See? And if I can remember, a lot of my worst experiences are with black. So, we have to change our community by sticking together and loving one another. My story is called The Black Sweater. And it was two ladies that really took advantage of me. I have to say, the ethics of it was really, really bad. But the way I told it, and it was a short story, and it's one that I sold. But I always keep it in my head. And it may, see, the people that get the stories may change it. I just give them a boost or a start. I'm almost like a ghostwriter, I think. You know? Writing is so easy to me. I can't even, I was singing once in my life, and writing it just pours out of me like, wow, I'm pretty good. And it's easy for me, whereas some people it might be kind of difficult. I don't like to edit, so I have to get software for that. But everybody have a good night, because it's past my bedtime. 7 o'clock. That's bad, and that's to keep my health and everything going the way that it should go, you know. And California has just had something go on that's really bad, because there's been sirens all over, helicopters and everything. So I don't know. Everybody be safe and be happy. Okay? Ashe. Don't forget, Ruby McCullum.